Good day, everyone. And today we will be going over extinction or method 4 in Karen Pryor's book. For the overview of this video, we will be going over three main definitions: extinction, extinction burst, and spontaneous recovery. And then we'll go over an example. Well, what is extinction? Well, extinction is when a previous reinforced behavior is no longer reinforced, or the reinforcer is withheld, and thus the behavior is weakened, and it will decrease and be more likely to occur or be more likely to stop occurring in the future. And in the present, the behavior is no longer being reinforced, and in the future, we are looking for the behavior to stop occurring. And right here, we have the general outline of what the extinction would look like. You have your SD, and then goes to your behavior, but the behavior is not reinforced, thus the cross out. And so the consequence does not occur in this situation. And here we have the extinction of a negatively reinforced behavior. And this is behaviors where the adversive stimulus is no longer present. So an example would be wearing sunglasses when there is no sun. So maybe indoors or nighttime. And because the adversive stimulus, which is the sun in this case, is removed, the consequence of using the sunglasses to block the sun is cut off. So you are less likely to wear your sunglasses when the sun is not out. And then we got extinction burst. And this is when the reinforcer no longer follows a particular behavior. And three main things can happen. There can be an increase in frequency, duration, or intensity of the unreinforced behavior. So for this page, we have the example of a vending machine. So when it doesn't dispense your item, you may press the button harder, more times, or even hold down the button, hoping that the consequence of getting your item would come out. Or two, the occurrence of novel behaviors or things that you typically wouldn't do regularly. So for example, you may shake the machine, you might hit the machine. You usually wouldn't shake a machine or hit the machine if it works normal and give you the consequence, right? And then number three, which is the occurrence of emotional or aggressive behavior. And imagine if you only had $1, the vending machine just ate it up, gave you nothing. You might feel upset or angry at the machine because it didn't deliver your item that you had. And here is a graph of an extinction burst. So here we got the initial behavior. And then right here is when reinforcement is removed. So in our vending machine example, this would be when the vending machine stops working. And you can see the extinction burst has a higher frequency right here. And then after the peak, it starts to decrease. And we will talk about spontaneous recovery right now. So what is spontaneous recovery? Well, this is when after a while, after the extinction has been extinguished, there is like a little burst in that behavior. But remember that this burst is not as big as the previous behavior. As you can see, if we go back to this burst right here is not as high as the initial behavior. So it will typically happen in a situation when it was reinforced in the past. So the example that I gave was, imagine you're hungry at home and for a while you're searching for food, and then there's extinction, which is when you know there's no food in your house. And then suddenly your stomach growls, and this situation may prompt a spontaneous recovery to get up and look for food once more. And putting it all together, here is our big example, right? So Adiel is the person we are looking at, and they are going to the local library to get some books. On Sundays, they are closed, but he does not know that. So typically, this is the usual venture to the library. They need a book, go to the library, get the book, right? It's reinforced. The consequence of getting books is reinforced. And this is constant on Mondays through Saturdays. But on the other hand, when he goes to the library on Sundays, this getting the book is not reinforced. And thus the consequence never happens, right? So the initial extinction burst is they can try to open the door because, you try to open the door and then he may also display novel behaviors like peering the window to see if anyone's inside. And he can feel anger and sadness because he is unable to get the books that he needs for his research. And for spontaneous recovery, he may not go to the library on Sundays for a long while because he knows that Sundays are days where the library is closed. And he tries the door and he may not experience the burst to try and forcefully open the door because he will remember his Sunday and return home. But if you're trying to implement method 4, you have to understand what is the consequence that the person is trying to get at and deny that consequence. That is the main thing for method 4 and extinction. So if you can come up with any examples like related to real life and something that you have had extinctioned by yourself or somebody has done this to you, that would be a fantastic way to understand this concept. And thank you so much for watching this video and good luck.